Hey guys, what's up? I'm the Burro, and he is called Captain Gimpy, ex-Jedi,
X.
and undercover ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about ex-Jedi.
So we're here with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the much anticipated finale to this trilogy.
The first Disney trilogy in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I'll let you go first.
So first of all, the things you're gonna learn when the title crawl happens is basically that Rey is off training as a Jedi with someone, and Kylo Ren is throwing a tantrum trying to find a way to subdue Palpatine because he threatens
his
his
power.
hold on the First Order.
Yeah.
If you thought that was a spoiler, the movie's gonna spoil it for you anyway.
Yeah. But that's not, to me, that's not a spoiler.
No, because you'll learn it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
So, there were, look, as a Star Wars fan, as Star Wars fans,
Mm-hmm.
like overall, I would say if you've seen the other 2 movies, go see this.
Yeah.
As fans of the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
our feelings are mixed. Why don't you talk about what you think?
So one of the things this movie made me think about, and this is completely spoiler-free, so don't shoot me, but it made me think about how bad The Last Jedi is in terms of like a narrative and how it. So like in a trilogy, there's like the setup. The middle part kind of fills in like a lot of the action and the character development. And then the last film is supposed to like tie that all up in this amazing like climax.
Right, so to that point before you continue, that's with a planned trilogy. George Lucas, when he did the original Star Wars, it wasn't called Episode 4 A New Hope, it was called Star Wars.
Yep.
Because he didn't plan on it being a trilogy because nobody wanted to pay for it.
Right.
That was just sort of his backup plan. If I get to make these movies, I'm going to make these.
Right.
So that was not a planned trilogy. So it was a self-contained story from beginning to end. This was supposed to be a planned trilogy, which means all y'all that didn't like The Force Awakens are forgetting that it was just the setup.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi was the middle of the sandwich, and this is the end.
Right.
No, yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because people have yelled at me for that.
Yeah, so the reason why The Last Jedi was bad is because I felt it didn't really develop a lot of the characters, like, for example, Poe Dameron or Finn. I mean, you could argue maybe they developed him in The Last Jedi, but
if you like the Canto Bite sequence, you could make that argument.
Yeah, but I felt that this is from The Last Jedi, and then I'm going to bring it back to Episode 9.
Right.
I thought that Rey and Kylo's journeys as characters were a little underdeveloped in that film. I mean, you could say, oh, Kylo killed Snoke, and he became the new Supreme Leader, and then Rey figured she doesn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
It's just, I felt Rian Johnson's Last Jedi didn't have a focus. It had a bunch of ideas, and then it tried to...
It had cool themes.
Yeah.
And then it tried to cram all the themes in there and loosely tie them together with the spaghetti plot.
Yeah, and it's like, by the end, it's like, oh, wait, this is part of a trilogy. I need to make sure this makes sense for the last film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so where The Rise of Skywalker picks up, it just feels a little odd for me as a Star Wars fan and as someone who thinks about how stories are constructed and all that.
Yeah.
Because you could tell it's a little rushed. You can tell they're trying to like wrap up all these like plot threads that were introduced in The Force Awakens and consequently The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in a sense, I felt that it did its job, but then I was still a little let down because of what I could see what it could have been.
Yeah.
Like this whole trilogy.
So the thing we don't talk about is that we actually write things. Some of those things have been published. I'm also helping a friend write a book and doing exactly story cohesiveness. Is this too much of a ex machina sort of thing?
Right.
Or is this too contrived? You know, I think about that every day.
Yeah.
So, piggybacking on what you were saying, there were moments in this film that I thought could have been so much better if The Last Jedi hadn't existed in its current form.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When you're collaborating with people on a story, people have different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back to The Last Jedi real quick.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi undermined all of the threads that J.J. Abrams put down for both character and plot development because Rian Johnson was too influenced, in my personal opinion, by one aspect of the writing of Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Obsidian Entertainment game that came out on the heels of the first game released by BioWare in 2003. And the only thing that he was intrigued by was the idea of a gray morality.
Yeah.
And that is all The Last Jedi really did. And in doing so at the expense of everything else already there, he undermined everything this film, the third in this trilogy, could have been.
Yep.
And so for that reason, the only time I'm ever going to see anything Rian Johnson directs is at Redbox or if it's streaming for free.
Yeah, so...
There were things I liked. This is a little spoilery. Carrie Fisher finally got the goodbye she deserved.
Yeah.
Which hit me in a way that I didn't expect it to, so I appreciated that. And I feel that that's what J.J. Abrams would have done if he were in the director's chair when Carrie Fisher passed.
Right.
I like some of the development that happened with FN2187.
Yeah.
For those of you who know where those numbers are from, put it down in the comments below. I'm interested to find out if you guys know.
Yeah.
That's actually a callback to somewhere in the original trilogy. Tell me where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that one of the many fan theories about Rey's lineage was actually proven correct.
Mm-hmm.
I liked exploring the unknown regions a little bit and kind of setting up this idea that there was an empire before the empire.
Right.
And I think, from a narrative standpoint, I think they're doing that to set up an Old Republic trilogy. I really do. And I hope they find a different director.
Yeah.
Because that could be really amazing or it could be really bad.
Yeah, I like all the Sith things they were trying to do, setting it up.
There are some new characters I really like. There's a new droid. I like that dude. He's a little roly droid. I liked a lot of how they handled the reveal about Rey's heritage.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like from a spoiler-free point of view, dude, there is no lightsaber choreography in this film. It's just people swinging things.
Right.
Yeah,
that's another thing I was a little underwhelmed by.
Yeah, and like you said, and I agree, that I was let down because I could see what the film would have been.
Yeah.
If things had gone differently, and if the folks over at Disney would have put some shackles on Rian Johnson just to kind of rein him in a little bit and be like, dude, that's not Star Wars. I mean, George Lucas was serious about continuity, but whenever he broke it, it was his choice to break it because he made it.
Yep.
But he had basically the equivalent of a lore master to make sure he wasn't messing up things that he intentionally approved.
Yeah.
When it came to the prequel trilogy, things got a little murky.
Right.
As far as EU versus canon went.
Yeah.
But generally, that dude's entire function was to make sure that everything had a timeline and nothing really conflicted with each other as much as humanly possible. When you get something that huge after a while, though, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
And I feel like they need a single lore master rather than the LucasArts story group or Lucasfilm story group, because groups, unfortunately, when they get to the size of about 4 to 6 people, they're gonna disagree about what continuity means.
Right.
And I feel like that's what happened here.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to say about this film?
In summary, I will say that this movie is what it had to be given what The Last Jedi was.
Yeah, that echoes my my overall opinion of this film.
Yeah. There are things I like about it that I want to talk about, but that's probably going to have to wait until the Blu-ray comes out and I could do an in-depth, a really in-depth review. You guys have seen our URL in the beginning of the movie, in the beginning of the video, and it'll be down here in the description. There will be a written review coming out probably tomorrow evening. But for now, the Force will be with you.
Yes.
Always.
May the Force serve you well.
Bye.
Bye.